Batman was a lot of fun to film. We had a tight schedule, which I would have liked a little bit more time so we could have really savored every moment and really tried to pull out the best of our characters. But we still had a good time doing it, and I think it was a terrific production.
I was told that our shooting schedule was 6 weeks. However, I think I worked a little over 30 days, and I wanted a little time off, so I did ask them to try to cram my stuff together. The locations were interesting because we got to go to Santa Barbara and use that wonderful pier there. It attracted so many folks, you know, locally, that it was tough to work on the pier, and Bert and I would have to leave by submarine every evening. They got us off in a boat at the ocean end of the pier because we couldn't get through the other side.
Technologically, we had a tremendous crew, and everybody played their characters to the hilt. Everyone that on the crew loved doing the film. The actors and actresses, you know, enjoyed it as well. And Adam and I had a great time. I mean, we were basically reprising what we were already doing on the series. I think what was interesting about making the movie Batman was that instead of it being the first thing that we did and then a television series coming afterwards, we already had a successful television series, and the movie was like the icing on the cake. We already had a following.
We did the movie the first summer hiatus after we started the series. Originally they intended to do the movie first and use the movie, the theatrical release, to sell the series. But we got lucky in that the series was accepted and went on the air. We did, I think, 34 episodes and then did the movie. Why the movie? The movie was done to sell the series overseas. It was released overseas, and indeed it worked. And it kind of prepared the way for a series that nobody understood the mix. Nobody quite got it, what it was, for some time.
Look at this pair of joking riddles.
What does a turkey do when he flies upside down?
He gobbles up.
Of course.
And number 2.
What weighs 6 ounces, sits in a tree, and is very dangerous?
A sparrow with a machine gun.
Yes, of course.
Batman was very bizarre and had no resemblance really to real life. And the comedic aspects of it, the theater of the absurd, you know, these were the things that I kind of concentrated on and enjoyed mostly.
I close my eyes and I dream of those savage Cossacks racing over the steppes on their brutal mission.
How strange. I close my eyes and I dream of something quite astonishingly different.
We had a lot of great writers on Batman and on the movie. Lorenzo Semple wrote the movie.
Lorenzo's pilot for Batman was so excruciatingly funny to me and fresh and different. I'd never seen anything like it on television or even in the movies. And so I said to my agent, okay, if they want me, don't leave the studio. Sign me up now because I want to do this. I really think I've got a handle on it. And sure enough, that was it. And I signed on, and then they said, however, would you test with a young man to see whether the chemistry's right? And I said, of course I would. This is, you know, something you do.
When I tried out for the role of Robin, first of all, I didn't know that I was trying out for the role of Robin. I was selling real estate, going to acting school, studying at UCLA, and I sold a house to a producer who sent me to an agent who said, listen, I can't get work for my actors, so don't expect to work for a year, and if you do, it's only going to be a tiny part. And then I got a call about 2 weeks later, and he said, go over to 20th Century Fox, see this certain casting director. And I said, what's it for? He said, I don't know what it is. They just said, you know, they're seeing a whole bunch of young guys. Go over there.
We did a test together, and I knew instantly that Bert was absolutely the right person to do this. Holy guacamole, Batman! That kind of thing. He was naive and he was sensitive. He was a young guy and had very little experience. But he was, his naivete was pronounced.
And then there was a 6-week period after I had done the screen test that I didn't hear anything, but I was getting phone calls after about the 2nd week from people at 20th Century Fox saying, well, what shoe size do you wear, and what's your glove size, and what's the circumference of your forehead, or whatever, all of this stuff. And I was trying to say, well, gee, does that mean I'm getting closer? Do you think maybe I'm going to get this role? What happened was the studio thought that my agents told me I had the role. And my agents thought that the studio told me I had the role. And actually, for 4.5 weeks, I had the role, and I didn't even know about it. The same week that I found out that I had been cast as Robin, out of desperation, living at the beach, surviving by taking Coke bottles back, I tried to get a job, and I was turned down for a gas station job at $1.10 an hour. But then again, I was more happy to do Robin.
What has yellow skin and rights?
A ballpoint banana.
Right. 2, what people are always in a hurry?
Russian people? Russians.
Right again. Now, what would you say they mean?
Banana, Russian. I've got it. Someone Russian is going to slip on a banana peel and break their neck.
Precisely, Robin. The only possible meaning.
The reason Adam and I were selected was not, I mean, I'd like to say it's because we're great actors. But that really wasn't it. What William Dozier, the executive producer, said to me was, Bert, we selected you out of 1,100 other young actors because, in our mind, you personally, what you are, is as close to what we would imagine Robin to be. It wasn't a matter of acting, and we don't want you to, quote, act. We want you to be yourself and to be enthusiastic, and that's it, because you really are what we imagine Robin to be. And Adam, being the gentleman that he is, that wants his tea at 4 in the afternoon, and Mr. Suave, and he is Batman. I think what was fun about the feature was that instead of just being limited to one villain, we had 4, and we had 4 of the most popular villains.
Our executive producer, Bill Dozier, and producer Charlie Fitzsimons and another producer, Bill D'Angelo, had remarkable talent for picking the right people. And, you think of the villains that we had. We had Cesar Romero, the great Latin lover. We put white makeup over his mustache because Cesar would not shave the mustache that gave him a career. But Burgess Meredith, who had, a long, wonderful career in movies, on the stage. Frank Gorshin with his manic intensity as Riddler.
Leanne Merriweather as Catwoman. Although Julie Newmar was our main Catwoman in the series, she was filming a movie called McKenna's Gold at the time, so we needed another Catwoman, and Leanne Merriweather was terrific.
Try it. We have to do something to get Batman out of the way.
Favorite villain? I would have to say Catwoman, and you guys know what I mean.